Give me a break from all this bullshit. Give me a break from all this bullshit. Give me a break. Give me a break. Give me a break from all this bullshit. Give me a break from all this bullshit. Give me a break from all this bullshit. Give me a break. Give me a break. 2 racks on new shoes. Why the fuck I do that? Tell me why the fuck do I do that? 2 racks on some Gucci shoes. Why the fuck do I do that? Tell me why the fuck I do that? Who's that with you in a room? Why the fuck do you do that? Tell me why the fuck do you do that? Girl, you know that I'ma die real soon. Why the fuck do you do that? Tell me why the fuck do you do that?
Previously on the Junior Crybabies.
There are a million better things to do than argue with a typical idiotic TLH fan who would rather hang on to one stupid episode from 2017 out of literally hundreds of others. You and other like-minded are the reason this fandom is considered to be one of the most toxic fandoms ever. No such luck is 100% non-canon, and one day when Lincoln spouts out of his mouth that it was all a nightmare, I bet you're gonna be pissy that you lamented over something that never happened, and I promise you I will enjoy your anguish when that time comes.
We now return to our regularly scheduled programming.
To my fellow Lynn Jr. fans, I have an album of our favorite jock at her best to emotionally manipulate people into thinking she is anything other than a bad character. If you think her good moments aren't enough, then you're not a true fan, Lamau. Every time you bring up her flaws, you only illustrate how fake of a Lynn fan you really are. You are not giving me the Lynn never develops crap when using examples from 7 years ago that every stick of the butt fan should get the f*** over with. Stop acting like you know shit about Lynn and her familial relationships, because it's pretty obvious you don't. You're clearly one of the whiny TLH fans, and therefore trying to negotiate with you stiff-necked sheep is pointless and a lost cause. Toodles! Oh, wait a minute. I'm recording my lines right now. Let me change my voice back. Hello, everyone. Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time you're at right now. It feels just like yesterday I made a revised version of my Sense of a Family video. What I learned from making it is that there are 2 kinds of people in this world. Problem solvers and problem makers. Why do I say this? Don't worry, you'll figure it out soon enough. Recently I came across a comic series called The Royal Woods Adventures, created by a team of artists and storytellers. They seem very passionate about what they do, which I can respect. The first issue in this series is titled Same Town, New Neighbors. It's about the Louds meeting new neighbors after the events of the Loud House movie, and I have to say, it's pretty well made. I liked the 2 families getting to know each other and found their different methods of resolving conflicts quite interesting. I liked the different art styles, and pretty much every character was likable, for the most part. Overall, I considered the story to be a solid debut for the series and a promising start for the series as a whole. And I say all this in advance before I talk about the second issue in this series, titled Rabbit's Luck. If you want to read the story for yourself before continuing to watch this video, be my guest. Additionally, a link will be provided if you want to read the first issue of this series before the second. Now without further ado, let's begin. The story starts with Lincoln Loud in his room feeling down because he doesn't have a good luck charm like the rest of his family. His older sister, Lynn Loud Jr., acts like an ass towards him, with dialogue suggesting this takes place after the events of the notorious episode No Such Luck. As she leaves, Lincoln reflects on how he misses the times when she actually gave a damn about their relationship. Lucas, his new neighbor and friend, enters and asks how he is doing, offering to help with his situation. Lincoln explains that his good-for-nothing sister, which is what I'm calling her by the way, believes he's bad luck after she lost a softball game as a gentle reminder he was forced to attend to. Because of her superstitious nature, he must get a good luck charm to regain her trust. Eventually, they settle on an ace-savvy keychain, hoping that Lin Jr. will win the game tomorrow and respect him again. You all know where this is going. So the next day, Lincoln greets LJ in the nicest way possible, but she doesn't return the favor. He shows her his good luck charm with the hope she'll no longer view him as bad luck if she and her team win the softball game. He wishes her luck and she brushes it off. Wow. I sure hope she doesn't do anything inexcusable to him later on that will make me want to break something. The rest of Lincoln's sisters express their worries and wish him luck as Lin's game is about to begin. The look on his face says it all. He is clearly fearing for his life. The Royalwood squirrels get wrecked yet again, and Lincoln thinks he let her down again as he runs like the wind. And what you are about to see is so sickening that you might want to have a pillow handy to scream into. If anyone wants to back out, leave now or forever hold your peace. Try not to blow a gasket. Lin Lao Jr.? What the f*** is wrong with you? You beat the shit out of your own little brother, all because you lost your softball game? No! That is morally reprehensible! As far as I'm concerned, you deserve to be tortured in the vacuum of space! Does anyone have a burning desire to throw Lin Lao Jr. into a shredder? Because I sure do. After she leaves, Lincoln breaks down and laments what a big meanie-head Lin Jr. is and just wants her love. The sisters appear and are surprised to find him still alive. He asks to be left alone and Lori assures him that they're here for him before they depart. He writes a farewell letter and runs away from home, never to be seen again. The end. He actually decides to crash at the Lewis siblings' house as he explains his situation to them. They comfort him and promise to help him just as he helped them last time. This is enough to make Lincoln smile and he accepts Lucas's invitation to play video games with him. Meanwhile, Lily Loud enters Lincoln's room only to discover her only brother is nowhere to be seen. She comes across the letter he wrote and starts bawling. Lori, Lenny, and Luna hear this and assure her that her family is here. The oldest Loud sibling grabs the letter from Lily in which Lincoln explains the entire situation and why he ran away from home. You know, it's kind of hilarious that Nickelodeon fan 1990 insists this story is not a sequel to No Such Luck. If that's the case, then how do you explain this? Anyway, the three eldest sisters are shocked at what they read and Lori is pissed. She shouts out for Stinklin and shows her the letter. She reads it and all she can do is celebrate. The rest of the sisters appear as they express their shock over their brother running away and Lin's insensitive remark. Lori asks when she will get rid of her luck superstition, but Lin fails miserably in attempting to justify her shitty actions by playing the blame game and insulting her siblings. Their feelings are hurt and Lori has finally had enough. She grabs Lin by the arm and drags her all the way to the Lewis house. Forced to settle her nonsense once and for all, Lin asks Lucas where Lincoln is and prepares herself to enter his room to confront him. Before entering the room, she has flashbacks about her and Lincoln when they were younger. I hate to kill the mood, but I don't find this scene wholesome in any way. Think about it. Lynn is only here because she was forced to come. She didn't arrive of her own volition. Given her attitude earlier and everything she has said and done, there's nothing wholesome about this scene. This just feels kinda manipulative. And with that, we finally arrive at, oh gosh, this scene. So Lynn Jr. enters the room and apologizes for her shitty actions towards her brother and claims that she loves him. Can anyone explain to me exactly what's wrong with this scene?
Sorry's not enough. Actions speak louder than words. You love him and you're sorry. So what are you going to do now to show it?
Also, this is Lincoln we're talking. He's easily one of those kids to give anyone, good or bad, a chance. It seems you unfortunately failed to see Lincoln is like that. Not a vengeful person.
That he is. However, there is such a thing as too forgiving. And the thing about Lincoln is he learned from his big sister Lori is that actions speak louder than words, so he won't just forgive Lynn just like that, especially after Lynn bent him into a pretzel and screamed that he's the worst brother ever. Those are very loud actions. Whether or not you'd agree that's unforgivable, it's definitely unforgettable. You don't forget that someone of your flesh and blood does that to you.
Actions speak louder than words, as Laurie said in one episode.
And Nickelodeon Fan 1990 is just gonna make this another fanfic to add to the pile that is the easily forgiven trope, I'm sure.
Thunder, I'm not like Nickelodeon's writers. I hate to break it to you, pal, but you kinda are. Is this supposed to be a code? I know it's kinda hard to read because when you zoom it in, it looks blurry. But this was the result I got. Somebody else pointed it out. And what does the code translate to?
The code says, a sibling's love is true, powerful towards all.
Damn. Could this story be any more emotionally manipulative? Lynn tells Lincoln how important he is and why they grew apart over the years. And then she has the audacity to ask for his forgiveness despite the fact she's only felt this way just for the sake of a good ending and nothing more. But at that moment, I thought this could make for a genuinely great scene. It could have shown Lincoln unwilling to forgive her just yet, in that he needs to think it over. And Lynn Jr. would need to try her hardest to win back his trust in the meantime.
I'll think about it.
These words are invalid to my knowledge, just like the crappy writing in this story, because the moment he said that, my heart sank. And at that moment, I knew for a fact this scene was going to be a masterpiece of failure. Just take a look at these comments. Waiting for Lincoln's toxic worshippers to lose their collective shit for forgiving Lynn. Say that again. You know, Lincoln fans out there who want him to hate his family as much as they do. Oh, that sounds terrible. Happens all the time. Listen here, Snowflake. Don't get it twisted. Listen to this quote.
Alright, I'll tell you because now I got nothing to lose. What I'm guessing will happen is that the easily forgiven trope will be dropped. Think about it. Lincoln's making this speech about what his sister did, why under normal circumstances she wouldn't be forgiven, and then he says, however, how can it be hidden that Lincoln will forgive his sister and this fanfic will just get another hunky-dory ending like all the others? There are some users here who think that losing their cool over Lincoln being easily forgiving are toxic and just want Lincoln to hate his family. These users think that's toxic because it's like cliched or something, but in real life, words do not speak louder than actions, or at least not that easily. So in short, I'm guessing that Lincoln will forgive Lynn Jr., possibly as an attempt to stray from the so-called toxic fanfics that are actually a result of the Loud House if it was more realistic.
And just like that, your defense is invalidated. So shut your pie hole.
This is best if you make Lincoln not forgiving her until Lynn earn it.
As much as I am to open to your suggestions, but from here on out, I am not changing a thing about this story. Like it or not, this is my story that I am sharing with you all, and I don't care if you guys like it or not. But please, let me tell the story the way I want to tell it, and that is final. I told ya. Sam draw stuff 1, 2, 3? Close your yapper!
Meaning it's the easy way out.
Thank you.
It is official. Thunder is already a better writer than Nickelodeon Fan 1990.
Now he wouldn't forgive her so easily after what she did earlier. That's just words right now.
Lincoln is not that person, you know. I forgive people most of the time. Most of the time, huh? Does getting brutalized count as most of the time? And to rub salt into the wound, this scene features Lin-Lao Jr. crying when it seems like her brother, whom she brutalized and verbally abused, isn't going to forgive her. Am I supposed to feel bad? Am I just heartless? I mean, what do I know? I've been blacklisted by the Loudster for crying out loud. To my utter dismay, Lincoln said screw good writing and forgives her on the spot.
This is bullshit!
Are you fucking kidding me? As if it wasn't enough to be beaten to a pulp, as if it wasn't enough to hear words that make you feel worthless, as if it wasn't enough to be given a half-ass apology, this story has Lincoln forgive Lin-Lao Jr. so easily with no further repercussions. This is what you call horrible writing. This is not heartwarming or beautiful in any way. It is forced. What she did is absolutely indefensible, and yes, she has handed her redemption and her brother's love on a silver platter.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
Come up with any shitty excuse you want. You can't hurt someone so badly and expect to be forgiven so easily. You might think I'm crazy for what I'm about to do next, but I will play a clip from How Toy Story 4 Destroyed Everything by Gaming Magic 13 that perfectly sums up my point. Roll the clip.
And no, the scene where Bo realizes how much of an idiot she was and that Woody's heart was in the right place all along doesn't matter in the slightest, because aside from the fact that this scene only exists for the sake of the audience and she never actually apologizes to Woody for how she treated him, even if she did apologize to him, that would not make up for the things she did. The simple act of saying sorry or acknowledging that you were wrong doesn't immediately make up for the action you undertook. When Woody accidentally knocks Buzz out the window, he tries to clear the air with him, but because Buzz thinks that he tried to kill him, he doesn't just immediately say, "Oh, okay, you feel bad. Well, I guess we're friends now." It takes the entire rest of the movie for these two to come to trust each other and become the best friends that they are. But in this movie, Bo simply says that,
"You gotta love him for it."
And even if we give maximum benefit of the doubt to her and assume that this is her acknowledging that she was wrong to treat Woody the way that she did throughout this movie, that does not suddenly absolve her from her endless parade of condescension and verbal abuse throughout the runtime of this film. Disregarding the butchered character motivations for the movie ending the way that it does, it is portrayed as a happy ending that Woody chooses to leave his family and go off to live with an abusive romantic partner who not only acts consistently condescending to him, but also takes great joy in doing so. This is not healthy. This is not normal. This is not okay, no matter how much this film wants you to think that it is. Do not look to this as an example of a respectful relationship, for the love of God.
You see what I mean? At least I'm not the only one who finds this scene awful. And the description doesn't help your case either. If anything, it shows that either you know the writing is bad, or you're simply oblivious. Don't tell me how they should go with Lincoln's character. That just translates to, don't tell me how to write a good story. Just accept the bad writing for what it is, and I won't listen to anyone who says otherwise. Thunder was absolutely right. Rabbit's Luck is nothing more than a story plagued with the easily forgiven trope, and you have proven him correct. I lost the game and beat the crap out of my baby brother. I blame him for my loss yet again and made him feel worthless. I only magically feel remorse just for the sake of feeling remorse. Feel bad for me. That shit. A half-baked redemption is a badly written redemption. And as if that wasn't bad enough, Lynn has the gall to ask Lincoln to attend her next game despite what happened last time, and he agrees. No. 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 You call that lazy writing? Then what the f did we just witness? You think getting revenge on someone for brutalizing you is petty? No, it isn't. It is completely justified. How do you not get this? Does anybody think about anything when they write stories anymore? Am I the only one here? Oh dear, you should see the replies Nickelodeon fan 1990 sent to people who are critical of the story. He's handling things so poorly, it's honestly kinda sad. Let's just move on. Please. She wins the game because why the f not, thanks him for her victory, and offers him a flippy to celebrate. Lincoln agrees and takes off as she gives him a head start, and Lucas enters the scene. He congratulates Lynn on her win and gives her advice on the value of life itself. After that, Lincoln and LJ are enjoying their flippy as it flips his food and fuel, and she invites him to Gus's Games and Grug to hang out, and he agrees. I mean, it's nice to see LJ treating him better, but much like the scene where the easily forgiven trope is utilized, it feels forced considering the bullshit we just had to endure. And that's all from this issue for now as of this recording, as the story is yet to be completed.
No.
What the f*** happened? How did we go from a genuinely good first installment in this series to this schlock? It's like the Incredibles film series where the first movie was, well, incredible, but the sequel turned out to be a huge mess of writing issues at every turn. This is the second issue in this series. Numero dos! The Royal Woods Adventures went 2 steps forward and 4 steps back with this one. It aims to convey that family is family no matter what, and that forgiveness is the morally correct thing to do, but it fails miserably. Instead, it's telling you that if you physically assault someone over a game and make them feel worthless, you can instantly be forgiven by simply apologizing. And that is actually disgusting to think about. Not only is this a harmful message, but it is also part of the reason why half-baked redemptions are frowned upon. Let's say someone commits arson against their neighbor. Their house is burned down, and they have no place to live. Would you call the neighbor not forgiving them toxic? Yes, according to this bozo. And the fact that these people show this much ignorance and refuse to accept the very obvious flaws with Lincoln's decision and Rabbit's luck showed they resort to emotionally manipulating you into thinking this is a heartwarming scene, and it is absolutely bananas to me. That one scene alone left a bad taste in my mouth. We don't even see Lynn grounded or banned from playing at any of her games. So simply hurting her arm isn't enough. Any good scenes in this story are rendered moot when you have this absolute clusterfuck of a scene. So you think hating his sister for all eternity is better than forgiving her when she is really sorry? I don't think so. Thinking like you destroys whole families and good friendships forever and can drive into something worse if you interpolate it on the whole society and the whole planet. Sounds like you're the kind of person who would accept a story like Toy Story 4. You're part of the demographic Josh Cooley made this movie for. For f***'s sake! You sound like the kind of person who would accept a couple staying together despite one being abusive to the other. I don't care if there are 25 pages to the story left or even 100 pages. None of them would change the fact that this story is garbage. You cannot hide behind the excuse that Lincoln is a forgiving person in order to justify the horrible writing and expect it to work. You need more than that in order for this scene to have substance. If you really wanted the story to have Lincoln forgive LJ for what she did, then the scene where she does all these nice things for him should have happened before she was forgiven, not after the fact. The former means she is working for his forgiveness, whereas the latter feels more like Lincoln's reward for choosing to forgive her. And the people defending this garbage need to wake up. I wouldn't say this story is worse than No Such Luck, but it does the bare minimum to improve on it. There are others online who don't approve of this story, but, to quote from the Louster himself, they hate it for the wrong reasons. At this point, this hypocritical, emotionally manipulative, double standard riddled trash. I don't give a that it's not the end of the story yet. This scene should have never happened if the story was going to pussy out of having good writing for a superficial happy ending. Why is it horrible? It's not the fact Lincoln forgave LJ at all, it's about how early it happened. The more I read the sorry excuse for a story, the more I absolutely despise it. And when a fanfiction with darker themes manages to tell a much better story about forgiveness than you are seriously f***ed. Nickelodeon fan 1990, just please come up with a better ending or resolution next time. And don't hide behind any excuse to justify the terrible writing in the story. And by the way, don't throw a temper tantrum over people pointing out the flaws in your story. And as for you, Stink Lynn, go f*** yourself loud and proud. Thanks for watching, everyone. I didn't plan on making this video at first. It's just that one scene in the story ended up really pissing me off. And now I want the countless hours of my life making this video back. If you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy my other videos. If you read The Railwood's Adventures issue 2, were you as frustrated with the writing decisions in this story? Or did you have a different reaction? Share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, this is 𝘵𝘩𝘐, and I'm out. Take care, everyone.